Hello, and welcome to my QTP video tutorial, where I will be showing you how to add to the object repository by recording test steps. In this video, we'll be covering the following topic: how to add objects to the object repository while recording test steps against an application. As a reminder, to stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. This moves us to the topic which asks the question, how to add objects to the object repository while recording test steps against an application. One of the functionalities in QTP is the ability to record your interactions with an application. This is beneficial for many reasons, but in the context of this video, it is beneficial because each object that you interact with, QTP will create an object repository item. When you have finished recording your script, you can open the object repository and see that QTP has added objects for each of the objects that you interacted with while you were recording your script. I'll now flip over to QTP to show you an example of how this works. As you can see, I have already begun the outline of a basic script, and on line 2, what I have is a systemutil.run command that will launch the Windows sample flight application that comes with QTP. For more information on how to use the systemutil.run command in your scripts, feel free to watch one of my other videos where I go into more information on that. I'll now go ahead and run this test so that we can launch the Windows sample flight application. Once the test run stops, what I would like to do is click to pull up the Windows sample flight application just to make sure that it was able to successfully launch. And I can locate that button here at the bottom of my window on the taskbar. It looks like an airplane. I'll click it. Now I now see the Windows sample flight application login window. So that verifies to me that the application was able to successfully launch. Now that I've been able to verify that the Windows sample flight application has successfully launched, I now need to click back over into the QTP script. Now in this example, what I'm going to do is click at the end of line 2 on the QTP window. Once I've done that, you'll see that the Windows sample flight application is now hidden behind the QTP window. And I'll hit the Enter key a couple of times to create a blank line at line 3. Now the reason that this is important is wherever the mouse cursor is where QTP will begin adding the new lines of code while you're recording against an application. So it's usually a good idea just to bump down a couple of lines so that way QTP will start recording at the bottom of your script. Now in our example, what I'll be doing is recording myself entering an input into the agent name input. And then once I enter the value and then click down into the password input, what I'll do is stop the recording and then come back over to QTP, and I'll be able to see that QTP added a new line into my script on line 4. Now for more information on how to record your interactions with applications, feel free to watch one of my other videos where I go into more information on that. Once I begin the recording, what I need to do is click to pull back up the Windows sample flight application. Again, I'll locate it at the bottom of my window on the taskbar. Looks like an airplane. So once I find it, I'll click it. Now what I need to do is click in the agent name input and then type the value of JoJo. That's J-O, J-O. Once I'm done with that, I'll now click down into the password input. At this point, we're now done recording our interactions with the application. So we can find the recording taskbar that's near the top of my window. Once I find that, I can then look for the blue square, which is the stop button. I'll now click that to stop the recording. As you can see, QTP created 2 additional lines of code for me. The first line of code that it created is a activate, which basically will bring the window into view. Then the next one is interacting with the agent name input, where we set a value of JoJo. Now that we've finished our recording, we now want to open up the object repository window to see the objects that were created. For more information on how to open the object repository, feel free to watch one of my other videos where I go into more information on that. Now that the object repository window is in view, what I'd like to do is move the window over to the right a little bit, so that way you can be able to see the lines of code that we recorded, as well as the objects that have now been placed in the object repository. Now, along the left-hand side of the object repository window, you'll see a section that has a title of Test Objects. And if you look in this section of mine, you can see that there's two different objects. The first object is the login object, and the second is the agent name object. Which, if we look back over here to my script, as you can see, here's the login object, and here's the WinEdit for the agent name object. So QTP has now successfully added objects to the object repository for both of those objects that we were interacting with. This now concludes our video where I've answered the following question: how to add objects to the object repository while recording test steps against an application. As a reminder, to stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. Thank you, and I hope that you have a great day.